Hi, my name is Ten, and I'm going to be helping with someone's anterior pelvic tilt today. When you are looking at this positions of the body, you have three different positions. You have anterior pelvic tilt, which is right here. You have posterior pelvic tilt, which is the exact opposite range of motion of your pelvis, which is all the way right here. And then you have neutral right here. So for the most part, it's actually not too complicated. You just have to make sure your pelvis is in neutral, and that's where you start off with from. So instead of having anterior pelvic tilt here, just look at what's happening with my hips. I bring it in. It's called a rotation, right? You rotate your hips in a little bit, and then that brings it to neutral. If you bring it too far, posterior pelvic tilt. You don't want that. So let's practice this one more time. From anterior pelvic tilt to neutral to posterior pelvic tilt, we want neutral. Neutral should feel very relaxed. Shouldn't feel like you're putting much effort in. Okay, so if you're right here, another thing you can think about is taking your abdomen and bringing yourself in like that. Just a little bit, not all the way, just bring yourself in a little bit. Look, all of a sudden I have completely neutral lower back, and then I can work on my upper back from here. But right here, when people always say you need to strengthen your abs, you need to contract your abs to get yourself out of, anterior pelvic tilt, they're not particularly wrong, but what they're really talking about is taking your abs from a lengthened position and just bringing it to neutral, right? Doesn't quite look like an ab exercise, but that's what's happening. And then from here, if you have an unideal back posture, just bring your shoulder blades back, bring your neck back a little bit, and that should do the trick. Again, everybody is going to have a different situation. Some people are going to be a little bit more complicated than others. But when it comes to the gist of an anterior pelvic tilt, it's the most important thing to understand what a neutral pelvis is to get yourself out of a non-neutral pelvis position like anterior pelvic tilt or posterior pelvic tilt. I hope this was mildly helpful, and I can actually figure out something to do this weekend. Hope you have a great weekend.